D Brown here, June 30th, 8 a.m., 2026. I'm reaching small milestones and I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? Like the work that I'm putting in. And this is, you know, I don't know if I ever post this, but this is for me. So, yes, I'm reaching milestones and I'm happy. So, this morning I weighed in at 241. I'm about 6 pounds, away from my ultimate goal. But one of the other uh, goals of mine I'm reaching, and it's funny, like literally 32 days ago from today, I didn't even have this goal. But once I started, it was some ads and on Instagram, and it was, like basically those, and then a few chat conversations, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start recording videos again, and I'm going to journal my daily, life, and also certain things that's going on in my life right now as I'm transforming into this new person. My daughter's going, at the time she was leaving for college. She was weeks away. I was a couple of months away from losing my sister. I was um, feeling in a certain way. That's all I can say. I was already in the middle of my weight loss journey. I had lost at the time 25 or so pounds. So I was feeling good enough to feel good about coming on the camera and documenting me as I'm losing this weight. And I said, I'm just going to start recording. I journal every morning. I do it. I faithfully. Every little thing it could be paragraphs. It could be a couple of sentences. It's affirmations, and it's a formula that I've had for years now with journaling. But I said, I'm gonna do some video journaling now. And I said, as I do this, I'm going to do this as a routine. Okay, just add this to my routine. Now, because I added this to my routine, the other routines I've been doing for years. This one is just I just added it to it. I shot my first video, took a minute and a half. I talked about a blue shirt. I talked about the gym. I think I did 2 or 3 videos in one day. It was short though, small. I came up and did it again, 2 to 3. After about 4 or 5 days of shooting couple of videos, 2 to 5 videos, I said, you know what? I'm going to start posting these videos. I'm like, why am I going to keep these to myself? I'm going to, see what happens. See what stories stick. See who resonates with me. See who else is going through parenting, losing, um, the daughter going off, son or daughter going off to college. Man, it's getting me. Get up. Losing a family member. Just going through transformations in life. And I was having these conversations right before I started shooting videos with family members of mine and friends of mine that I was and I because of where I was in life and where I am in life, I started like really paying attention to the things that they were saying. Like, man, they're going through something too, right? Because everybody's going through something at a time, but it's like sometimes you could define little things that everybody say that's like, oh, okay, a mom I'm speaking to, okay, her son is leaving for college, so she's going through the same stuff I'm going through. A friend of mine is, feeling overwhelmed and feeling like she, has to perform and be, you know, on all the time, and she just wants relief sometimes. I'm like, all right, I know what that means, especially being an athlete. You don't understand that part. Then there was a family member of mine, who I ain't talked to in a minute. He was talking about the relationship between his wife and his mother, and and I was starting to put my like, yo, dude, like, fix that. Don't. It's not worth, your wife and your mother, having issues, man. Fix that ASAP. And you know, I know that feeling too. And the main thing is like not having my mother around. It's like, yo, dude, and that was the main thing I was, telling them. It's like, but I was having these conversations. Just my nephew, you know, dealing with his own, what I'm saying, life. He's had some, lost his mother. About that, he just asked his girlfriend to marry him yesterday, no, 2 days ago. So he was, dealing with that, and so yeah, it was all of that, and I'm like, well, let me start putting on the video because I'm not just the only one going through these things. So yeah, let me share my story, my experiences, what I'm going through, but maybe somebody can get something out of it. Because again, they're my stories, it was my, my life, and again, so as I sit here today, June 30th, I hit 100 videos. This is my 100th video I'm recording. I don't know when I'll post it, but I don't even know if I will post it. But it's 100 videos recorded in 31 days. Yesterday was yesterday was June 29th, and I made my first recording on May 29th. As I sit here today, June 30th, this is my 100th video that I recorded. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, all I know is now it's part of my routine. That's the main thing I get from it. I stuck to it. I done traveled to Dallas. I done drove 18 hours from Florida to Dallas. Didn't skip a day. I done had my daughter on one of these already. She's used to being on the camera, but the fact that she knew, I was like, what we're gonna do when we're driving? She's like, what, record, do a vlog? I was like, yeah. So she knew, like, I'm already got her trained. Dad is always in front of the camera somehow, right? But yes, I recorded 100 videos in 30 days, 31. People like, you just like to talk, whatever. Nah, it's hard, but it's part of my routine. That's the main thing I'm trying to say. It's part of my routine in the morning now. Take a beautiful walk, along the river here in Florida. And, sometimes I'm like, well, man, it's gonna be hard to come up with stories, but life happens. You know what I'm saying? I just share what's going on in my life or share some of the stories and hope that, it comes out and portrays I don't sound crazy and that, people can, understand or see some type of relatability in my story. This here is just, it's just one of those like, yo, you stuck with something. It's just 30 days, but the amount of videos, it didn't matter what was going on traveling. In this 30 days, I don't drop my daughter off at college. I done stayed in Dallas, you know what I'm saying, a week or so, more than a week. Um, Never stopped working out. One day I didn't work out, and that was when we drove from from Orlando to Dallas, and we stopped in Alabama that morning. I did record a video that day with her, but I didn't work out. But every other day, I've worked out, and every day, even including that stop we had in Alabama, I still recorded. It was just with her. Dallas, Texas, waking up in the morning, hotel, going to an open parking lot, still, and stories never stop. I'm not here to, hey, but it's just a small milestone. I wanted to get to 100 videos. Now it's posting 100 videos. I know you're like, wow, it is what it is. It's a rhyme and a reason for everything that I'm doing. But the main thing is part of my routine. It's part of showing up for myself every day. Part of doing something that I said I was going to do. Once I started posting, I was like going back and forth. I was like, man, you know what? I could do a video a day. But again, I was listening to these ads on Instagram and they were like, or Facebook. They were like, oh, post 100 times and yap, and it's about a specific, like for me it'd be 100. If I knew recruiting in college, I said no, I'm going to share my story and post 100, posts about different things, walks of life, things that are going on with relationships, business, family, health, right? With the weight loss journey. I could speak 100, posts just on that journey, right? As I'm 6 pounds away. But I get to document this. I get to go back and see this. You know what I'm saying? Years from now. And hell, I may be helping somebody, man. You'll see. You'll see some of these pictures. I hope you see these videos of like where I was not too long ago. Hell, I was just 35 pounds heavier. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 months ago. So this is the journey, man. I'm documenting 100 videos in, 100 videos in. Amazing. So next 30 days is gonna be 100 more. Keep this thing going. Keep this thing rolling. That's the journey I'm on. Don't slip up. I'm telling myself that. Anybody else set goals out there like that? Lofty goals and hit it? 30 days in. All right. Going now to the next 100. Peace.